Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a subscriber requested distribution. I have a while ago did a review of this operating system, but it has released a new one right before the end of the year. So I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and, of course, meet the subscriber's request. It's called cachyos. It is based on Arch. In cachyos's new release, latest release, I should say, they have given new grub backgrounds at the ISO bootloader. Memtest is now launched and included with EUFI systems. cachyos SDDM themes got added to the KDE installation. Automatic version script added when creating the ISO. Calamares is updated to the latest version of Calamares. The mirrors are now ranked with cachyos rate mirrors, which ranks the mirrors and the Arch ones as well. Packages are updated. 6.11 kernel, MES is at 22.3, and Plasma is at 5.264. The Kofuku desktop environment was removed, and extra ISOs with LLVM 15 are included to provide support for newer AMD cards. So if you've got a latest and greatest AMD card, it will work right out of the box. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First, we're going to go to the webpage and see what is new, or what they've got to say. And so here it is. You can find them at cachyos.org. It's a Linux, clear it says, a Linux distribution based on Arch Linux. cachyos is a distribution based on Arch Linux that offers an easy installation, several customization options to suit every user, and special optimizations for improved performance while remaining simple. The features. What do you get with cachyos? cachyos is a Linux distribution that is based on Arch. The default Linux kernel is the linux-cachyos, which is their own kernel that they've compiled. And that is because if you look down here where it says the kernel support here, it gives you a little information that they actually use more than just a standard CPU scheduler that comes in Linux. They've actually optimized it with the Bohr scheduler. They also have available CFS scheduler, PDS, BMQ, Bohr, TT, and Calcul, all of which are all optimization ones. And they also have kernels compiled with the x64-v3 instructions, as well as available with LTO. So they're pretty much so optimized their Linux kernels and have variants available for you that are going to continue to make this thing run really well. Also, they've optimized their packages with LTO. The desktop environments that they have available are the KDE, GNOME, XFCE, i3, BSPWM, LXQT, OpenBox, Wavefire, and Cutefish. Those you can select them while you're doing the online installation in the Calamares installer. If you look here in the top left-hand section or right-hand section of the web page, here's where you can click download, and it'll take you to their downloads. And here they've got the warning that you can install any edition provided by cachyos using the GUI ISO installer. As it says, you can download any of their desktop environments that you like from the online installer. So that's a look at that. I have started this up in my virtual machine. I've assigned it 4 gigabytes of RAM and 4 CPU cores for my processor. And this is their browser they're talking about, Cachy browser. It is a fork of Firefox, because if we go here about Cachy browser, here it is. It's got the Cachy logo where the Firefox would be, but it's version 1.8, as you can see right here. So it's a fork of the Firefox browser, but on their webpage, they have made this, they've talked about how they secured this web browser, and they've got some security features baked right into it. And some of the security features baked right into it also came from LibreWolf. So they have some patches from LibreWolf in it here as well. So anyhow, that's a look at the Cachy browser. This is the desktop. for the ISO. So let's go ahead and do an install of cachyos as soon as I find it. Octopi. It's got the fish terminal in it, and it has got the install system right here. So while I'm waiting for the launcher to start up, here we go. We're going to hit next because English is definitely my language. In Los Angeles is not where I live, but it is in the correct time zone. My keyboard is default to English, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to erase the disk completely. I'm going to use, well, let's use BTRFS. Why not? Butterfs. I'm going to hit next. Now this is where you can select which desktop it is that you want to install. You can do no desktop, Plasma, Cute Fish. You can do Sway, which is a i3 window manager style built off of Wayland Compositor. Wayfire, i3 window manager, GNOME, OpenBox, BSPWM, and LXQT. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and do, what the heck, why not? Let's do the GNOME version. It was, I always do like XFCE or Plasma, but I don't give GNOME a lot of love, and GNOME has really improved over the years here. So let's go ahead and click GNOME, and so we're going to do the base development here, which is, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger, which is going to install all of these, which is perfectly fine. Now here's where these cachy kernels are, right here, where the different schedulers, like the BMQ, Bohr, CFS, CFS, hardened, PDS, and TTS. I think it said that it came with the Bohr right off the bat. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do, what the heck, let's do the Bohr. Let's go ahead and select Bohr. So that kernel selected. For Cute Fish, I'm not doing Cute Fish. We're doing GNOME. With GNOME, this is going to install all these, and I am good with all of that. For CPU-specific microcodes, AMD and Intel, yep, the open source ones. Firefox. Let's go ahead and install Firefox. What the heck? You know what? No, let's just stick with the cachy browser. Just keep it simple. Don't need NVIDIA. Don't need support for this because this is my virtual machine, so I'm not doing any printer stuff. Additional kernel modules only needed if multiple kernels are selected, and I did not select any multiple kernels, so we'll leave. Might as well select Bohr. What the heck? Just be on the safe side. And accessibility tools, mouse tweaks, Orca. No, I don't need any of that. So let's go ahead and click next, and now we're going to set up our user and the pertinent information to allow that user to log in. So here I'm going to put in my secret password. Oops. And I'm going to repeat it again. And I'm going to use the same password for administrator. So I'm going to click next. And this is a summary of what we're going to do. It's going to create the MS DOS. Yep, all that looks good. So time zone is America, English. Yep, looks good. So let's go ahead and install. I'm going to hit install now. While it's installing, I will go ahead and pause it, and then when it's finished, I'll resume the video. All right, it's all done installing. That took all of about maybe 8 minutes because I did the online. I didn't realize I had selected to do the online install. So it refreshed the mirrors, it did everything, and it downloaded everything online because you can do it either online or offline in the installer. So let's go ahead and select done and restart now. And so now we are getting into our desktop environment, and here we are. This is what it looks like. You got your nice little cachy, welcome window. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and click on, we don't have settings pinned anywhere on here. So we're going to go here, system tools. We're going to go here, go to settings. As soon as it opens up, we're going to adjust our resolution to something a little bit more respectable. Why are you taking forever to open? Hang on one second. Okay, so for some reason it didn't open the display settings. I don't, or the settings manager. I don't know why. It could be a virtual machine thing. But what I wound up doing was opening terminal, and I will, let me see if I can make this bigger. And what I did is I wound up typing this right here. I just did an xrandr command line execution, which is simply I took and did my virtual one, which is the screen that I'm in, set the mode to be 1920 by 1080 with the rate of 60. Now, how did I find that my output display was virtual one? That's what it was named in xrandr. So what all you do for that is you type xrandr and then you hit enter. And then it gives you this list. Any displays that are connected to your machine will be here. Virtual one with all of these settings right here that are capable of being achieved by that display. Another one could be right here, and it could be something a little different as far as what the resolutions that it can and refresh rates that it can do. So the one that's got the asterisk on it, which is right here, 1920 by 1080 at 60, that is what I have it set at right now. Just so you know, that's what I was able to do. Now, like I said, I don't think that's a cachyos thing as much as it is my virtual machine. When you log into cachyos, this is what you're greeted with. This is the GNOME version. It looks like your typical standard GNOME with the bar at the top with your activities button over here. With your time and date in the middle, and then your hidden icons, as well as your system tray over on the right hand side, along with your power session. And it's the new GNOME 43, I believe is what it is, where you hit the power button, it's hidden, and then it expands to this. But in it, you could actually do your volume management, or sorry, your volume for your speakers in here, as well as the type of load that you're running, that you want to run for your battery or whichever. Also what type of internet connection you're running, and you could switch between night light and also dark mode and light mode. What I like about Cachy is straight out of the box, no configuration needed. It is already set to a dark theme. Dark themes, to me, this is how every OS should come. I feel that it should be dark, and then you opt in for a light theme, because light themes are blinding as can be. So either way, I really like cachyos. It automatically gets 10 plus points because it's already dark themed right off the bat. This right here is where you can have your firewall. You can put up your shields, do your firewall, enable notifications, all that good stuff right here. So it's nice that they start your firewall notification right off the bat. Also, this one here is you can switch between tiling windows. As you can see, it can become a tiling window manager. And for floating windows exceptions, you can set your exceptions right here. So if you're like thinking about do a window manager or tiling window manager, then this may be a viable example for you to try, because you could just toggle it on and off just like you can in Pop OS. Very, very nice. Also shortcuts here. So super plus the / will give you your launcher. So super is always going to be your Windows key. So window plus forward should give me my launcher. Let me see here. Oh, and it does. See, there's my launcher. So, and then of course you hit escape to get out of it. So, I mean, you got some super plus V will toggle your tiling. So you have shortcuts there. You could show window titles, active hints. You can do active border radius. You can do hint colors, and you can also set gaps for your tiling. So that is very nice that they've actually enabled that as well. Also, as you can see, that doesn't come with your standard GNOME is this panel on the side. They've added a second panel, and with it, they've got your pinned or your task shortcuts, if you'd like, which is terminal, the Cachy browser, which, as we talked about, it is one of the features that they've done is they created their own browser, which we'll take a look at. It's a fork of OS that has LibreWolf patches and some other security patches embedded into it. They got the file manager, the GNOME files. They've got gedit. They've got system monitor, and I already have Cachy OS or Cachy welcome menus open right here, and then they have a trash can on there. So let's take a look at the welcome thing. With it, you've got the README release info wiki, which is all the information that you need. You have forums, software for web resource. Also, for under project, you've got get involved, development, donate. So let's see what it says for app tweaks. Under app tweaks, you could do system OOMD enabled, app armor, which is a security, NSD, CPP is already enabled. You can do a system update, reinstall all packages. You can refresh your key rings, remove orphan packages, clear the package cache, rank your mirrors, remove the database lock, Cachy package installer, and also the Cachy kernel manager. Let's check out the kernel manager. And this is where you can actually install different kernels that they have that are already optimized. As you can see, I have the PDS kernel, which is a performance distribution balanced load or something like that. Hang on. It is the stable one is the one that I picked is their stable one. And then you can obviously switch between these other ones if you'd want. So, but either way, that's how you could switch kernels. Let's go back here and let's click on install apps. And here is where you can get the apps that you want to install, like Brave, email clients, Office suites, ebooks, tools, like readers and stuff like that, text editors, which are gedit, micro, and Z, cups printing system, PDF, graphics creating. So you got Blender, GIMP, Krita. Under photos, you should probably just have your standard photo viewers, which they do. Gwen Viewer, they don't have, I think GNOME Photos is what is, I think, Eye of GNOME or whatever. No, Eye of GNOME is in here. It's already installed. See, as you can see, it's got the check mark next to it. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. For video and movies, you have Kodi, Parole, SM Player, Totem is already installed. For audio, you can install any of these: Audacious, Clementine, Dead Beef. Dead Beef is a TUI. It's a terminal user interface audio player. And then for media recording and editing, of course, I got Audacity, Kdenlive, OBS, OpenShot, Shotcut, and PitiV. You have for chat, you've got Hex Chat, WhatsApp, all that good stuff. Backup, they probably got Deja, Dupe, Time Shift, and Back in Time. And for password manager, they've probably got Bitwarden. Oh, no, they got KeyPass and Bitwarden. There you go. So those are ones that you can actually install. I'm not going to install any of those because this is already getting to be a bit longer of a video. But here, this is at the bottom here, so we're going to take a look. So in accessories, you've got extensions, calculator, screenshot, firmware, archive manager, Kvantum, network tools, GNOME disks, the tweaks as well. They already have GNOME tweaks installed, so you can adjust that kind of stuff. Suspend, appearance, da-da-da. I'm not going to go into all that, but I mean, you can play with it. It basically lets you customize GNOME, whereas GNOME out of the box typically is not customizable unless you install tweaks and extensions. They got micro in here and they text editor and also Vim, which is very, very nice. They have image viewer. They've got meld. For under Office, they've only got the document viewer, as I said. In the other install apps script that they have in their Cachy welcome, you can install different Office suites that are available to you there. Under system tools, they've got Fish Terminal, they got Qt5 settings, Octopi Cache Cleaner, Cachy Hello OS Hello. They've got Firewalled. They've got the Avahi, Kvantum Manager Pulse or Pavu, Add or Remove Software. Let's go ahead and click that. That's going to be the GNOME Software Center. And it is your typical standard one. If we go into categories, let's go to under featured, photo and video. Oops, browse. Under music, so here's all these different plugins you can do for different music stuff, Ardor, all these kind of stuff. Productivity is where you're going to find like your different office suites, that kind of stuff, calculators, that good stuff. So, and let's see, does it have Flatpaks enabled or not? Check for updates, parallel downloads, all nice. You can switch that to 10. Nope, it's because they have their own repo as well. And third parties, you can enable the AUR, which is very nice, which that is huge. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that like that. So anyhow, that is Octopi or PAMAC. I think that was, I want to say that was PAMAC, wasn't it? Yeah, it's PAMAC, or as some people say, PayMac. But anyhow, it was PAMAC. And then you have Power Statistics cachyos package installer. Let's see. This is, they have their own repos as well. Yeah, these are the packages that you can get from their repos. So their own specifically curated programs and applications that they want for this distribution. So this would be your first place to go to get your packages for your stuff. If you can't find it in here, then do the GNOME Software Center. It'll still install and work, but these packages in here are optimized more so for this operating system. So that is something to be, aware of. And then you have the QT4L2 video capture utility, which is for your webcam, the Avahi SSH server, the VNC server, Cachy kernel manager, which we looked at. Let's click on usage here. This is their system monitor, which is very, very limited. Let's go ahead and make this full screen here. So this is the GNOME system monitor version, 3.38. As you can see here, this is my processor use, which is only about 9%. And under RAM, I'm using 26% of the 4 gigs that I've given to this, 0 of my swap. So that is nice. In low for storage, I'm using hardly any of my storage. I really like this usage app that GNOME has. It's clean, minimalistic, simple, and it gives you just the pertinent information you need, nothing extraneous. So we'll go ahead and close out of that, and then we will go ahead and see BTOP, which is like HTOP, only a little bit more of a graphical TUI derivative of it. As you can see, yeah, not using hardly anything here. For my RAM, 1.69, gigabytes, hardly any of my processors. I mean, this is my CPU load's very minimal. I really enjoy it. And these are my processors right here that are running on the side. They're all system processes. So either way, that looks relatively nice. Now, what else? Is there anything else? Alacrity, and that's it. Yep, that is it. And then, of course, I've got Totem video player, which if you go here to help and about, oh, well, not showing it. That's crazy. But I guarantee you that it's Totem, because it's the GNOME video player. So it's Totem renamed to videos. So that is, I guess, all that we're going to be able to look at in CachyOS. I mean, we've gone over pretty much everything in it. I have looked at it before, and I thought of it then as a quality themed Arch distribution, Arch-based distribution. And once again, these guys have met the bar and exceeded the bar. It looks beautiful. Oh, let's take a look and see if we can change our backgrounds and see what kind of backgrounds we can come up with. See if this opens up. It may not, because like I said, it's, it may be, I really don't think it's a cachy thing. As you can see, it's still trying to open up. Yeah, it didn't open up. It failed. It timed out. It's probably my virtual machine. It's a beautiful distribution already as it is coming out of the box. It's very little customization. It's Arch. You can enable the AUR in it. They have their own repository that has optimized packages for it, which is nice when a developer or a team of developers do that, and they make target specific packages for their distribution. So everything plays beautifully, themes beautifully, does everything well. I can certainly tell you that I definitely recommend cachyos. It is definitely one of those OSs that you definitely want to keep your eye on, try it, and if you just want to, jump to something new, why not give Cachy a try? I enjoy the fact that you can actually do the tiling window manager in it, and basically, I mean, there isn't a knock I could find on it. Really, the problem that I'm having is definitely my virtual machine. It is not cachyos. So Darren Melberton, this distribution review was made due to your request, so I hope this fits the bill to what you were looking for. If not, please make sure you comment down below. Also, any of you guys, if you use cachyos and you know something that I did not mention that you feel needs to be mentioned, please leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. It only helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. You guys do what you do, keep on Linuxing, and stay blessed.